Why is mute on? I'm telling you. I fixed it. It's okay. Anyway, as I was saying, it was that I hope you guys admired me doing my 90s dance routine because that's all I know. That's my youth in them days. So, those are the dances that I know. Like, and some from the 80s when I was in college, the prep and stuff. But welcome to the show. What we're doing here tonight on the Depsterism channel is What the Fuck Tuesday. Now, it used to be called Tell It Tuesday, but then we changed the name to What the Fuck Tuesday because everybody was always saying, What the fuck was that? What the fuck are they talking about? Who the hell is this? And I fixed it. Y'all late with the mute info. I already fixed it. But this is like it just was just so the new name fits the show a lot better. So we call it now What the Fuck Tuesday, and that works for me. So let me uh, tell you guys first. Let me say I was gonna do an intro tonight to respond to this guy's question. Well, it wasn't even a question, it was a statement. He put it up on the wall. I didn't make it live because I wanted to use it against him in some way. And so what I decided to do is I'm going to take a collection of the stupid things that men have said on my Facebook, on my here on YouTube, and I'm going to consolidate them and I'm going to respond to them all at one time. So if you have, in the meantime, if you run across anything, a crazy meme, some, weird statement that a guy has made as a post, screenshot it and email it to me at survivingdating.com because that's what I'm gonna do on Thursday night. It's not gonna be a well, I guess there are some tough topics, but I really just want to talk about some folks real bad. I'm just in that mood. I just want to I just feel like dragging some people. And so if you guys send me some really good stuff, then that will help me with my dragging. All right. So let's get started with the show tonight. Wait. First, let me see how many questions we're going to be having. Looks like 14 again. Oh my God. Do you know when we started doing this, I had like 7 or 8. So the quantity of questions coming in has doubled. And I'm sure my lovely cousin could probably put more in here, but my voice starts cracking if I do too many. So we're just going, I think this is enough. All right. So let's start. The first question is from, what happened here? Hold on a second. I can see that I'm going to have to be reading from the screen because this did not print out right. Hold on a second. Let's see, recent documents. Okay. I'm fixing it. Hold on a moment. Technology, sometimes it's lovely and sometimes it just sucks. But, all right, so let me get started. Okay, so here we go. Question number 1. We got 14 questions tonight on What the Fuck Tuesday. That's where you are. I read the advice columns, questions that come into the column, and then I respond to them on the fly. My cousin does a good job of going through my email for me. She puts them all in a document like this, and then I can sit here and I can read them and just respond to them off the cuff. The ability to do that comes from almost 30 years of relationship advice experience and plus, life, because I'm not a youngster. I'm not a spring chicken. So here we go. This young lady is 26 to 35 age group from the USA. How do I tell my husband that I want an abortion? Right out the gate. Here we go. We have 3 kids together already, and frankly, I'm exhausted. I'm a stay at home mom and often find myself being the sole caregiver because he's working. He has said in the past that he's pro choice, but opinions can quickly change when it becomes personal. That's right. Honestly, I fear he'll be passive aggressive towards me after the procedure, as he tends to hold his feelings in and take it out later on. He recently joked that my weight loss was unnecessary, and if I kept losing weight, he'd get me pregnant again, so I'd have to gain weight. We use birth control, so it's not like he forces me to get preggers, but we're not exactly safe every time. I don't want this to change our relationship, but I'm not completely sure how to convey that this is the best choice for all of us. Our kids deserve more, and I'm spreading myself very thin already. Okay. All you need to do is pull up any videos that you can find on that Andrea Yates woman. Her husband was just like yours, a little asshole. He thinks that you just stay at home in some prison of kids and household chores, and he gonna keep on pumping you full of babies, and that in his sick, twisted, little insecure, dweeby mind is what's gonna keep you from leaving him. He's going to think that because you're either pregnant or you're, quote, fat from being pregnant or trying to lose baby weight or saddled with a bunch of kids and nobody else is going to want you. That's what he's really thinking. I hope you understand that. So what you need to do, this like we use birth control, but it's not exactly safe every time. I don't know what the fuck kind of birth control you getting, but you need to get the kind that is safe every time. The shit that's planted in your arm, the shit where you pop a pill or whatever. I mean, you need to get something that he can't fuck with. And I'm thinking the kind that you plant in your body is the most safest for you. 3 kids is enough for any damn body. Okay, you already tired. What you gonna do with a 4th kid? You gonna end up like Andre Drake's drowning their asses in the bathtub. That's what's gonna happen. So that's what you need to do is refer him to that and say, this is where you're pushing me with all these damn babies. I don't want no more kids. You want more kids. You need to stay at home and take care of them because I can't do this anymore. The kids deserve more than this. I'm already spreading myself too thin, as you say here, and the expectation that we're just gonna keep having kid after kid after kid as long as I'm fertile is ridiculous. I'm not trying to be Billy Bob, whatever his name is. What's them people that had that TV show and they got 902 kids? Them. That woman's body's all kinds of fucked up. And so you need to, you just don't be, and actually, I don't know, you didn't say what state you live in. You just say USA, because that would have given us some time to look up what the abortion laws are, whatever, what they have going on. But as far as I'm concerned, I mean, your husband is the moneymaker, so he would, I guess, be involved in the expenditure for the abortion. But if you guys have health insurance, then you should be able to get it with a co-payment through your health insurance at your doctor. And you go and you get you an abortion and tell his fucking ass about it after. And if he has any problem with it, then he'll just have a problem with it. He'll get over it. And the main thing is, you won't be stuck with no fucking 4th kid. These men be tripping. Oh, that's right. It was 19 kids and counting. Yeah, the Duger. Thank you. I mean, I never watched it, but I used to see them, like on TV, like what you call them, those, being interviewed and stuff. And every time you turn around, that bro is having another goddamn baby. She got babies younger than grandkids and shit. Oh no, 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 no. So but really, check out Andrea Yates. That was the saddest story that I have ever read in my life. And that woman, that poor, poor woman, her husband just ran her into the ground until she snapped. Don't let that be you. Okay, so you better put your foot down right now and take control of your life because this is your life and your body. I know you're married. I know you love your husband and everything, but you better love yourself more. Your kid's second and that motherfucker last because, husband, you can change a husband. Your kids gonna always be your kids, and you are going everywhere that you go. So you, the kids, him third in line. So if he don't like it, just tell him to kiss your ass and go get you one anyway. Question number 2. Now I have to read this because my stupid printer messed up something when after I was printing this out. All right, so let me see what this says here on the screen. This is from a young woman in the 26 to 35 age group. She's from Brooklyn. I have a best friend who I've known since 2011. I met her when I first arrived in the States from Cameroon. Oh, our friendship has been hot and cold many times. She is now dating a man who she has known online for 3+ years over Facebook. Oh, you know what? It's so bad on Facebook now. See, I got to detour my conversation. You know, I be trying to stay on topic, but I don't really succeed usually. It's so many Dusties on Facebook now. Child, I'm telling you, when I go in there, it's like I feel like I need like a ventilator mask. They just be flying around, just spread dust everywhere. And it's, even the comments they make are dusty. The posts they make are dusty. It's pretty unbelievable. So I understand what she's talking about. I do not believe he is a healthy fit for my best friend as he has lost his license due to speeding, drugs, and alcohol. Oh, no. It's a bum, Dusty. Since accommodating himself in my best friend's residence, okay, he a roosting in your house, Dusty. She has distanced herself from me. I only receive messages when she needs favors, as I have a driver's license. Lately, she has become rude to me, but I thought nothing of it at first. Then, yesterday afternoon, I received a Snapchat which clearly showed long scratches across her boyfriend's back, which she captioned, Dick game is on point. Okay, you 26 to 35, because y'all must be in the lower end of that. I have been dating an attractive European bodybuilder for 5 months. He is everything I wanted in a man, and I feel unbelievably lucky to have met him. Can you tell me why is my best friend becoming an enemy? What I'm gathering, my energy is telling me that your friend has met a man who is an abuser. So he is doing what's called isolation. He sees that she reaches out to you and that you two were, quote, best friends. To him, you're a threat. You're a threat to him having ultimate and complete control over your best friend's mind, your best friend's house, and your best friend's money. So since your best friend is stupid and she's like, done let this fool move all up in her house and all of that, and he don't have no license, I mean, he's a loser. What kind of man in a situation? I mean, you can get your license back. You just have to, pay the fines or whatever you need to do and go through the driver training school, the little traffic school and all this old stuff like that. But I mean, how long has it been that he hasn't had a license? And it's the kind of thing, if he's repeatedly, because usually they just kind of, make you pay fines and go to traffic school or whatever first. So I mean, he must have had a series of these kind of events to the point where they just, lost his license. And you don't say if he lost it permanently or if he lost it temporarily, which I guess is something I would need to know. But either way, this is like somebody who's showing marked irresponsibility. Why would you want to be with a man like that? You never get behind the wheel of a car and drink and drive or do drugs and speed, because then you kill innocent people. So, the people who do that kind of stuff, I don't trust how they think, because they're only thinking, I don't know what they'd be thinking about, to tell you the truth. Because you could die, you could fuck up your house, you could end up not dying, in a coma, crippled, quadriplegic. I mean, there's so many endings to this, and none of them are good ones. So I don't really understand that kind of thinking. But your friend is being rude to you, and she's, distancing herself, and this dude has moved into her house, and she met him on, on Facebook and all this kind of stuff. See, this dude has an agenda, and you would do best to cut ties with her, because you don't want no parts of this. You don't want to get mixed up in this situation. You want to have a nice relationship with the guy that you with. So she doesn't want. She's distancing herself. Let her do that, and let her be over there with that Dusty. And she's not becoming your enemy. She's just doing what he wants her to do, which is separate from anybody who could help her get away from him and talk sense to her. So she's making a choice here to go with that. It's all about some dick for her, so let her do it. That's my answer to that question. I'm like, this chick is just doing the most. All right, question number 3. Yes, reader, it is April already. I can't believe it. February seems so far away now. All right, this question number 3. We're on 3 of 14 for those who may have just pulled into the What the Fuck Tuesday. We're doing relationship advice live stream, live questions. I read them, I answer them in real time. If you want to contribute to a show, you want to have your question considered, your issue considered for the next week's program, Submit your question at the top of the YouTube channel. You'll see a button that says Get Advice. Fill out that form and send the question in. If you forget, in each show description, there is a link to the advice submission form. Each show description, it'll take you, just copy it or whatever, click it, and it'll take you right to the submission form. I do not accept questions on the wall. I do not accept questions via email. There are releases that you need to sign, electronically sign on that form. And if you don't do that, then I don't know what, I don't see you, I don't hear, I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Question number 3 is from a young woman in the 19 to 24 age group from the UK. There's a girl at work who is after my boyfriend. Oh no, beat that bitch's ass. We all work together and he just left the country for a few months. But about 3 weeks ago, this girl started to hit hard on my boyfriend. She works really close in the same group as I do. She has her own man at home allegedly, but it's not to be trusted. She talks about sex loud with people and in training classes. How she knows how to do it in many details. Oh no. No. Let me see what they're saying about this broad in the advice. In the chat room. Yes, thank you guys. Yeah, and remind them too. If they forget the website, the question form is in the each show description. I just copy and pasted this in each one so they can just go right there and click the link too. Um, she knows how to. Okay, he was avoiding her. He is her boyfriend. I'm taking it. Was avoiding her, but he is a nice guy. What bothered me is she sees me talking with him sometimes at work, and she still bothers him. She says to people I give her dirty looks, which maybe I do at times. She even asked her boss to be moved right next to my guy because she thinks he is handsome, but the boss denied her request. I have a different demeanor at work. I dress up and I am attractive, and she stares at me all the time. What bothers me is that his last day at work, he moved by her desk in front of me and walked at the break room with her. I controlled myself since I saw that not to get in trouble. I don't know that. Anyway, she says he loves me. He says he loves me, and he tells me he's clueless about her intentions. I want to mention that this happened his last day at work, and he will be gone for a few months. People tell me not to worry because of how he is. That's how she is. My boyfriend is 21, and I'm a few years older than him. I don't look like it though. But we love each other. She does not respect that. Like I said, her behavior talking about sex and alcohol with everyone loud upsets me. This situation with this girl makes me so upset though that sometimes I cry. Why does he encourage this behavior in front of me on his last day at work? I love my guy and I try to control myself. Girl, please. Your boyfriend is trifling. And you say your boyfriend's only 21. Um, this is a waste of your time. Number one, you don't never get your honey where you make your money. I keep telling y'all that that's the number one mistake that you made. Because if you wasn't messing around with somebody that works and all this shenanigans that they doing wouldn't be bothering you. Number two, 21-year-old men are hoes. They hoes. They hoes. That's all they are is hoes. So you trying to act like, this is your future husband or some shit. This is not going to happen. But let me just tell y'all a story. Because when I was in college, um, down in Texas, I had this boyfriend. And he was so fine. He used to model. So, a couple of times he'd come up to my job and, pick me up from work or we go to lunch or something. And, so all these crazy ass, Texas ass white girls are seeing dude. And so then we had like, a company party. And of course he was my date. That was my boyfriend. So I bring him, my boss was happy to see him, all the dudes shaking his hand and everything. Because, we had been dating for a couple of years. And this white girl, now she had a horrible reputation. People used to tell me, "Oh, you need to watch out for her." Her name was Sherry. Watch out for Sherry because she does wild things at the parties and this and that. So they had already told me, but see, you guys got to remember, at 19 and 20 years old, I was a fool. You think I'm a fool now, but then I was just like, I will beat your ass kind of fool without even thinking about it. So, we're at the party, right? And she had, those kind of dresses, I guess, what they call it, like a tube top type of top, like it holds tight at the top. You don't need a bra. It has the, everything was all built in. It holds stuff. Okay, so we at the party, right? And she goes right in front of my boyfriend and pulls the top down and shows him her titties at the party. I was working for a law firm. Okay, and they all were so used to her behavior because I guess she had worked there for years. And but this was my first, holiday party at the firm. So he saw me see it and he was like, oh, you could see him start shivering because he already knew she's about to lose her shit. So I go over and I snatch that white girl. I'm like, bitch, what the fuck are you doing? What are you doing? Pull your fucking clothes up. Be sitting up here showing your boyfriend your titties. Do you want me to beat your ass right in front of everybody right up in this off in the party? And she started to cry. And they're like, oh, you shouldn't talk to her like that. I'm like, you bunch of crazy codependent motherfuckers. I do this is inappropriate behavior. I am not gonna tolerate it. Now the rest of you want to tolerate this kind of shit with her doing this kind of shit in front of your husbands and boyfriends, be my guest. But I bet you this bitch won't do this shit again. And she didn't. I worked there two more parties, and she kept the clothes on at least the years that I was there. I was about to drag that bitch like I was Bam Bam all through that party. They were scared of me. I'm like, bitch, I will beat your ass. How you gonna do that? And I only had two black people working there. Oh, no, it was three. Okay, the girl who did the housekeeping stuff, me from California, bringing my wild West Coast attitude, and then a lady who was married who had, a couple of kids, and she was very Christian and very calm, and so until I showed up, and she didn't go to the parties because that she wasn't, she didn't even go. So, I'm like the only black person at the damn party. I showed the inside of my ass. So, with all of that said, I'm surprised at your job that you haven't turned that bitch out. You have way more patience and tolerance than me. If anybody's going to be crying, it would be her. It would definitely not be me. So, you need to channel a little Deb when your boyfriend gets back if you all decide to stay together. Personally, I wouldn't waste my time and I would move to a new job and let both of them trifling two-bit pieces of shit have each other. That can't be the only place in the world to work, and you're gonna be subjecting yourself to that bullshit every day like an emotional assault just to get a paycheck. Get a paycheck somewhere else, and with the experience that you have now, you should be able to get a better job paying more money and without the drama. And don't you date nobody at your goddamn job no more. Now, that's my advice. I'm like, God damn it. Oh, honey. Ooh. I don't know if she was loose or not. She was like, she would get drunk. That was her excuse, right? She would drink and then she would do all this exhibitionist type stuff. People had told me stories of how she had like where she would come with like no panties on and then she would turn her butt to the room and she would flip her dress up and show, the people in there. Okay, this is like a law firm. Like California law firms where I worked, you do some shit like that, your ass is fired. They have more dignity. But this was in Houston. And they just like tolerated it. Everybody laughed it off like it was funny. That shit was not funny. I'm telling you, my boyfriend, he was like this. This poor thing, I felt sorry for him because he knew. He knew as soon as he saw my face, I was like, "What did I just see?" And then, whoosh, flames shot out of me, and I commenced to rip her a new ass right in front of everybody and gave no fucks. Well, I don't know. Like I said, to me, loose means you fuck around. I don't know that she was all of that. All I know is that she liked attention, and to me, there's two different things. So a lot of people are, like all these little Instagram models and stuff. I don't necessarily know that they, fucking around with everybody. What they like is the attention from men. And so I think this girl was the same way. I don't know if she even had a boyfriend, or I mean, maybe, I don't know. I didn't really care, but I knew she wasn't gonna be trying to start no shit with mine. I tell you that. Well, I don't know what this hoe was, but I do know that she was about to be a victim because I was about to beat her ass until I got tired. And I was at that time, I was working out at Gold's Gym. I was ripped. That's before I even became a trainer. I was still a student at college. But I've always liked to work out. And so, if I had decided to beat her ass, she would have been very hurt. So That's that. All right, question number 4. This is a young woman, 24 to 35 age group from Leeds. I don't, yeah, it was that I just never seen no shit like that before or since. I have never seen anyone do anything like that. But that was enough. Once was plenty. My boyfriend of 3 months is constantly bringing up his ex girlfriend Jackie. What I tell you about folks named Jackie? Don't fuck with no woman named Jackie. You gonna have problems. Either just mentioning her name in conversation or making her the subject of conversation. Theirs was a complicated relationship, and she was a lot older than him, and he was made to keep their relationship a secret, although everyone pretty much knew anyway. According to him, they started off as just bed buddies and then became boyfriend and girlfriend about a year later. He was also, quote, the other man. She broke up with him in July of last year via text message with the words, "It's over. It's just too hard." It absolutely shattered him. He told me about her on our very first date. Didn't go into too much detail then, though. Okay, I'm getting ready to cuss. I just feel the irritation brewing. We hung out every weekend. We lived 30 minutes apart, and every time we do, he will mention her. Sometimes he will admit, "I know I shouldn't talk about this," yet he still does. I have asked a few questions about her, don't get me wrong. I am kind of curious, but at the same time, it does make me feel very uncomfortable whenever he talks about her. He tends to tell me a lot about his past, high school years, college years, years spent DJing, etc., and I know she is a big part of his past. But sometimes he will make the mistake of bringing up what they did sexually. He knows I'm a virgin and that he's my first serious boyfriend. He treats me like a princess and doesn't want to rush things. He says he has learnt a big lesson from being with his ex that sex can completely ruin a relationship. One other thing that really upsets me was a few weeks ago he told me that he kept a box filled with stuff that she had given him over the 2 years that they were together. But the clincher was, and he said that if we happened to get married or move in together, the box will come with us and will never be opened, just looked in and shoved back to the back of the wardrobe somewhere. I have a good time when I'm with him. I've only known him since October of last year, but it just gets me every time when he mentions that J name. He's the first man I've truly loved, and I'm just not used to all this confusion. He's ran into her just once since we've been together, and she said how much she regretted breaking up with him. His response to her was tough. "I'm happier than I ever was with you." And he often refers to her as being stupid or crazy. How do I let him know that listening about her makes me feel uncomfortable? And why would he be bringing her up so much? Okay, first of all, let me scroll back up to the top so I can talk shit about this stupid motherfucker that you got. Okay, 3 months, you need to end this. Let me tell you something. When a man is always talking about a bitch, that means he's thinking about the bitch. Okay, so your man is with you, talking to you, just where you out talking about some other woman, and you sitting there listening? See, what kind of like masochist are you? No, you supposed to tell him, "Look here, I don't want to talk about that hoe. You know, the hoe was married. You was the other motherfucker. You was stupid to begin with for setting yourself up in a situation like that. Surely you don't think I'm going to have some pity for you. You knew you was the other man. It wasn't a fucking secret. When you go into a situation that was just always, about fucking, and then how you going to become boyfriend and girlfriend if you the other man? You delirious, twisted up in the mind, crazy asshole." That's what you're supposed to say to him. You're supposed to give him a reality check like a motherfucker. Because he's sitting up there living in some fantasy world where they had this brilliant future and she broke his heart and all this stuff. Your boyfriend is an idiot. Okay, he's just stupid. And so how you going to be thinking you're going to have another relationship with somebody who's already in a relationship and you're going to call that your girlfriend? Really? Oh my God, this dude is just too much. He needs to be like put down like a diseased dog. This is just stupid. Okay, a young lady. Okay, I mean it's not like, I mean at a certain age to me, virginity becomes redundant. It's like it seems like the longer you hang on to it, the more, it becomes like this big deal in people's mind. It's not all that. Sex not all that. Virginity's not all that. It's just life, okay? So, but what the thing that you do want to do is have a meaningful relationship so that when you do think about your first time, it will mean something. Doesn't mean the relationship is permanent. Doesn't mean it has to be your husband. Some religions believe that. I don't. But it should be something that's meaningful to you. Okay? At that time, it's meaningful. This guy is steady in your face telling you about some other bitch. This is nothing meaningful here for you. I don't even know why you wasting your time. He's not thinking about you. He's thinking about her. Okay? He's thinking about her and talking about tough. I'm happier than I ever was with you. That's some bullshit. He didn't say that. He told you that because he wanted you to, to feel good about wasting your time with his fucking ass. Get rid of this idiot. You don't. You just tell him that it makes you feel uncomfortable. And obviously, he's still in love with the bitch, and so you out deuces. That's what you do. You young, and it's your first relationship, and that's why you understand what's happening. You're triggered by the bitch assness. See, lady boss, that's my girl. We on the same page with that, cause I'm like, this don't make no damn sense. I'll be like, nigga talking about some bitch to me. I'll be like, hold up. Stop. I don't want to hear this. Stop talking. Zip it. We don't care about R. Kelly. I'm going to delete this. Put user in. Yes. Do not get uh I accidentally yeah. Yeah, this is really I don't know, she's young, she's inexperienced and she doesn't know what's going on and so there you go. Who gives a fuck, Jared? Get out of my chat. Nobody's talking about that motherfucker, that nasty diseased asshole. I don't want you in here, jerk. You know, watch them because they didn't like to change over their. Uh-oh, did I accidentally hide somebody? Hold on, you guys. I was a little too quick on the trigger there. Oh no, I accidentally hid Imani. I didn't mean to do that. Oh crap. Well, I may hopefully she'll be able to come back. Uh, all right. I hope I fixed that. All right. I'm getting distracted by these silly people. All right. Question number 5. This is on 5 of 14. This is a male, 25 to 36 from Canada. Me and my girlfriend have been together for 3 years. We both are 33. She had told me something a long time ago, and I wanted more clarification on it recently. Okay. 3 years and he's 33. This doesn't sound like it's going to end well. She told me that about 10 years ago at her old address, her property manager had accused her of giving men oral for money and marijuana. She told me it wasn't true. The property manager was a female. She said the property manager approached her and said these things to her. I told her that someone in her building must have told the property manager that. She brought her older sister up to the building and all three of them had a discussion about it. I think it's important to tell you that the property she was staying in was for people with mental health issues. She's bipolar and suffers with depression. When I first met her, she was still living in this building. She moved, though, and is living in a much better apartment. Even though this happened way before we met, I'm now wondering if this is true or not. She claims it's not true, but it's still on my mind. She says she doesn't want to keep talking about the past because it makes her depressed. She suffers from both depression and bipolar and takes medication for it. I do love her. It's just that it's been on my mind if it's true or not what the property manager said. I don't know if it's true or not, and I know it would be tough to admit that it is. I can't remember why she told me the story in the first place a long time ago. I just brought it up recently to try to get more info on it. I'm not stressed because I'm wondering if it's true or not. Motherfucker. Okay. Ladies, take a lesson from this. How many times do I have to tell you guys you do not be telling men all your stuff about your past? Learn to be a woman of mystery. Stop running your mouths. You don't have shit to say. Read some books or something and talk about that. You want to be talking all the goddamn time. This makes no sense that she would tell him that. Now, I could see why she probably was like, since she's not, she's not right in the head, she probably thought that that was something that she could tell him because it upset her. It upset her to be accused of these things. Now, in my mind, it's like, he'll never be able to prove that it happened. He'll never be able to prove that it didn't, and neither will she. And so to keep bringing it up, it means that he doesn't really trust her, or he needs a second job, or he needs a job in school, or he needs a job and some hobbies. He needs something to do with himself because he likes to sit around and think up some shit that happened years ago before he even met the woman and want to dig in her past and ask questions about it. So what I'm getting from this, sir, is that you are ready to be out of this relationship and you're looking for an excuse because you're a fucking coward. So just tell the woman, I don't want to do this anymore. I'm feeling insecure and unsettled, and I know it's my fault, and I know there's no way that you can make me feel better about it. That now that I've decided to get this bee in my bonnet, and so we just need to break up because I understand this is going to destroy the relationship, and there'll never be a coming back from it because I'm stupid and I just want to dwell in the past. That's what you need to tell her, and that would be honest. Because there's nothing she can do that will magically make you trust her, make you believe her, make you understand her, anything. But all I can say is the fact that she's living in a building for people with mental health problems ought to be all that you need to know. Anything that happens on that property, it's likely to be some far out outer limits type of shit. And so you should really just okay, yeah, and just let that go. But you don't seem to have that kind of intellect or emotional intelligence. So you're going to keep on, biting at it like a little pit bull until she, gets enough of you and decides to leave. So, yeah, it's just sad. Thank you, this girl, Betty. I just saw that pop up on the screen. Is anybody getting triggered like I am? Man, this is a vodka night for getting wine. These people are just special. This is just special. All right, let's move on to question number 6. Yeah, they do like crazy, but they only like crazy that they can manage, so like crazy that's happening now, not crazy that already happened that they can't verify, the full story. Thank you, Bruja. I'm not sure. Is the J silent? I don't know. But thanks you two. They can tell I'm triggered. And they sending me Bevmo money. I have a great audience. Okay, let's listen. Let's go move on to question number 6. This is from a young woman in the 19 to 26 age group from Drexel Hill, Pennsylvania. Dear Deb, I have been with my boyfriend for 5 years. Thanks, nerd incognito. See, everybody's like, "Poor Deb, let's get her let's get her something." 5 years, and she's only in the 19 to 25 age group. We are a very logical couple, and I would describe our love as enduring love. Oh, a Danielle Steele fan. We aren't very romantic or flirty. I know by my partner's actions and words he feels very strongly for me. But about 2.5 years ago, he began a job that would end up requiring 95% of his time, and it was very emotionally draining for both of us. He would be gone 6 days a week and come home crying most of the day. I would have broke up with him on the spot. I'm not having no crying ass man. You better cry in your car before you come home, motherfucker. I don't want to see that. Who cries about their job? For real? I was his cheer team. Mind you, I am 24 now and he is 31, 7 years older than myself. I hadn't yet decided what I wanted to do with myself, and so a lot of my identity was our relationship. When he was gone, I realized it probably wasn't for the best that I made a relationship so important, but it did hurt. I felt like I'd always shared a lot with him, and he had a lot of reason to focus on other interests and aspects of his life. But things have changed, and I don't really have a focus on a relationship like I used to. I felt like I lost myself in a role in my relationship, and now I want to rediscover who I am and be more accountable for my life and my identity. I don't desire being with anyone else. But I do really find it impossible to think of my partner right now. I don't know how to balance my new need for freedom in myself and my self discovery and love him in a way that's good for both of us. That is very mature thinking. I like that. I find myself being cruel when I don't want to be and wanting to be alone a lot. When I'm around him, I'm irritated and uncomfortable. I don't enjoy his company right now and I feel stuck. Because of financial reasons, we have to remain living together. I have no family to stay with to get separation. I feel that the more I let myself be uncomfortable, I risk having resentment. I can tell he feels hurt by my lack of attention and affection, but I refuse to make myself any more uncomfortable. I don't know what to do to be happy with myself and make him happy without sacrificing more of myself, and honestly, it just feels impossible. Do you think it's impossible to maintain a relationship when one person requires more separateness? Young lady, you full of shit. Now, let me tell you this, it's financial reasons we have to remain living together. No, you don't. You can rent a room with somebody. Whatever amount you pay in there, you could pay somewhere else. You can rent a room. There's all kind of ways that you can get around this. So if you really don't want to be in this relationship anymore, which it sounds like you don't, it's time to go. There's no need to be cruel to him or treat him badly because you're changing. See, that's what's happening. You're growing and changing. You're finally finding who you are as a woman. And so you're feeling stifled and caged and controlled. You want to explore the world. You want to explore who and what you are. And this is perfectly natural. You're about that age, where this would start to happen. So, it's unfortunate that you spent so many years in a relationship, on that programming thing. Check out the video we did, are you a good girl? Are you a grown ass woman? This is exactly what I was talking about in that video. This thing where we're raised up as daughters, thinking that we have to be this, we have to fit this role, we have to play the script, we have to star in this drama where we're a good girl and the support team and the cheerleader and, this perfect, everything, the little housewife cooking, cleaning, taking care of his kids, all the stuff. And then you finally grow up. Well, some women do. And they, realize, what is this? This is some bullshit. I was like, tricked into believing that this is what I needed to do and be when you really don't. And so, what you need to do is just sit down with this guy and tell him what's happening. Be honest and open. You're supposed to be a grown ass woman. Act like one. Talk to him. Stop hiding from it and acting out like a toddler. Sit down and explain to the man what's going on with you and how you need to move on from the relationship. Okay, let him know that it's not his fault. It's in and it really is. Sometimes people say, well, it's not you, it's me. In this case, it really is you. Because he's just being the same. I don't know. I would have lost respect to him coming in the door crying every night after his job. Though, see that, I know that wouldn't have worked for me. But this is what's going on with you. You're just growing and changing, and he's, of course, it's gonna hurt that you're growing and changing away from him. But this is exactly why I say people should never get married in their 20s. Exactly why. You're still trying to figure out who and what you are, and by the time you get about 28, 29, 30, you will have figured it out. But right now you're doing exactly what you're supposed to be doing as a young woman. And unfortunately you're with this older guy. He's already gone through this phase And being in a relationship with him is going to stifle your growth because you're going to be trying to please him instead of pleasing yourself. So make that move. It's time to get out, get up, get on. It's time. Yeah, he senses it. Of course he does. But he doesn't really understand the source of it. Um, and it's, I mean, she doesn't even really seem to, have put all the pieces together, which is why she wrote. That's why I'm, kind of summing it up together for her to let her know what's really going on. And this is perfectly normal. This is perfectly natural. It's what you're supposed to do. When you see when women don't do what you're doing at this age that you're doing it, they wait until they get 35 or 40, 45 years old and got cellulite and shit, and they be trying to dress you spandex and go out to clubs and do all the stuff that they should have done, all this exploration and development and finding out who and what they want to be when they grow up. They're doing it, in midlife instead of at the age that's appropriate to do it, which is the age that you are right now. May I also suggest that once you decide to do that, get you some money and get your passport and travel. That's what you need. That'll kind of polish you up and let who you really are. That'll put the icing on the cake. And then when you finish with all of that, you will be ready for a relationship. And the man who gets with you will be very happy because you will know very well who you are, and there won't be all these problems and confusion for either one of you. All right? To handle your business. Handle your business. All right, we're on question number 7 of 14. This is What the Fuck Tuesday, where people send in their advice questions. My lovely cousin puts them into a document for me. I read them on the air and come up with an answer just like that off the top of my head, which I can do and you can't because I have 30 years of experience at doing this shit and you don't. So, see, that's why I can do this. I can take questions on the fly and come up with some very good answers because there's a lot of knowledge and wisdom in this big head. You might not know it, but it is. All right, question number 7. This is from a young man in the 19 to 25 age group from Sacramento, California. Hey, Deb, I really need help and advice with this, so thank you for choosing my question. Oh, he's so polite. So where to begin? I'm a 22-year-old male. I met a girl 22 from Tinder. Tinder, Bumbles, whatever else is them swipey things. Swipey things are not good places to meet mates. So they met 3 months ago and we are now boyfriend and girlfriend. She has 2-year-old twins and her ex-boyfriend, 31, is the father of them. He has been causing lots of problems since the start. Initially, he wanted to get back with her, and in fairness, was led on because they were having sex for the first week that she and I were speaking, and continued for a few days after our first date. She told me that she wanted to see if they could still work because it would be best for her kids if they did, but it didn't, so she stopped having sex with him. He even now randomly drives by her house asking to see the kids and appears to be using them as a medium to get close to her. So basically, they shout at each other a lot. It's very toxic, and they're constantly threatening each other. So eventually, he asked her to choose, and she chose me. So he said he'd respect her choice, which his actions really reflected. He sent her a letter of promises, planning the next year together, basically emotional manipulation, talking about the kids being happy with 2 parents, etc., even though they've broken up like 6 times and don't seem at least the least bit compatible. Anyway, I met with him a few times now to discuss what I could do to make things easier for him. I regret this now. Anyway, last time we spoke, he stopped me in the street aggressively, very angry because she hadn't told him I'd met the kids and he saw us walking back with them. It just seems to be slowly escalating, and with the nature of my job, I can't have a criminal record. If he assaults me, I retaliate and he tries to charge me. My girlfriend says she wishes that I'd, quote, get his respect, end quote, with force if need be, but this simply isn't an option if I want to keep my job. How do I stand up to him in a way that can get him to back off? He is very manipulative. Little dumb motherfucker, let me tell you something. You are about to let your dick write a check that your ass is going to be cashing in a graveyard. Okay? This man is an idiot. Okay? He's violent and he's crazy. When men have that territorial attitude about some pussy, especially, she was so young. He might have been her first, the first piece she got. He is crazy. And plus, she got two little kids. It would be different if the kids were older, but they only 2 years old. And he don't have no problem fussing and fighting and acting a fool over the kids, like that. And he already approached you aggressively on the street and it's escalating. You put everything in this letter that tells you that this is a mistake. This is a gross error. You need to drop this girl like yesterday. Change your phone number. Any email that she got deleted. Move. I mean, a whole bunch of stuff. Stay away from this broad. You gonna end up with, you gonna ventilate it, as they say. He sounds crazy, and he'll feel like it was worth it because had to get his respect. He had to get his respect because you was dogging him. Don't you know that's how ignorant niggas think? So you dealing with some ghetto ass ignorant bitch who trying to get you killed, talking about get your respect by force. She's trying to get you killed. Don't you understand what that means? You need to leave this bitch alone like yesterday. Ooh wee, if you were my son and you came telling me this shit, I'd ship your ass off to East Timbuk 3 because you's not thinking. You letting your dick think for you. You need to stop this. Oh my God. This little boy. I'm telling you, because dude is crazy. That's what I say he need to move. Especially if she been in his house and know where he lives. And you got a nice job. I mean, your focus is on your employment. You need to focus on that and find you a woman with some goddamn sense that don't have no babies by some ghetto ass thug junior. Unfucking believable. All right, moving on. Question number 8. Female, 36 to 45 from Dallas, Texas. Not just Timbuk 3, East Timbuk 3. Okay. There's west that's closer and east that's further. He would be getting off on the train stop at East Timbuk 3. Cause this would have like my son ain't gonna die for you, bitch. You sitting over there with some crazy ass motherfucker and you know want to fight you and stuff all over his kids. He has no respect. He approaching you on the street and stuff. He dude's not wrapped too tight. He too focused on that pussy. So you need to let that go. Okay, this is one you're not gonna win. There's been too many cases where the baby mama and the new boyfriend got shot and killed because the dudes are so jealous and stupid. And that's the road that I perceive you to be on. You need to do some backstepping and get away from there. Ooh, okay. Female 36 to 45 Dallas. Dear Deb, first let me say clearly that I'm single and bitter. I know you hate that word and I feel this way, but I think it is perfect to use to describe me. I'm 36 and have been single, as in not in a committed relationship, for 7 years now. There have been periods of a year or more of no sex or dating during those years, but there have also been about 15 dating app type dates and about 5 short flings. I've never been a serial monogamist my entire life. I've had boyfriends around 5 in total, but nothing much more than a year. I'm not relationship led on the whole time. What? I enjoy my single life and have never craved marriage or children. But I've now come to realize I've become bitter. I find internet app dating really awkward and painful. It fills me with anxiety. I've never enjoyed the process. Plus, I feel it makes me look for the wrong things. When I meet men in real life, my attraction and chemistry grow over time, and I prefer that. Now I'm in my 30s. A lot of the men I meet that I connect with are married with kids, and I'm not one to go chasing after men who are already taken. I'm sober, so I don't meet men in clubs or bars these days. Not that those are the types of trysts that lead to anything worthwhile anyway. I've never been happy in a relationship. After the initial stage of being smitten, I feel trapped and scared to be with them forever. I figured the solution to that was that me to have a firm idea of the sort of man who I should be with. But I'm honestly not even sure he even exists, let alone that I'll find him and he'll be single. People tell me to be less picky, but I don't feel comfortable or driven to compromise on the wonderful things I've built in my life over these years of being single, and I don't want to trap myself in a relationship that makes me miserable. I've been repeatedly lied to, cheated on, and ghosted, and I don't have fond thoughts of relationships or men in general. But I don't want to kid myself. I know there are some great men out there who would never do such things. Sometimes I tell myself that I'm done and will be single forever, And while I feel relief, I also feel sad. Okay, I'm skipping all this because she just wrote the world. I found myself yesterday berating a friend who decided to go off on a holiday with a new fling early in their dating, telling her it would be bad for her mental health as he was moving abroad afterwards, telling her she'd have to compromise her travel plans for him, blah, blah, blah. Really, I just wanted to stay single to be like me so I'm not alone in being alone. This chick is a trip. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't know want to be like this, but I have no clue how to find my happy spot and shake this bitter anger about relationships and dating that's taken hold of me. I'd welcome all input from both you and the squad, those who are single and those in long-term relationships. I will read the comments and the chat script too. Really, I shouldn't have bothered you. It just feels good to get that out. I'm glad it feels good to get that out because, girl, you was right. Okay, you was just all kind of just emotions just flying around. Um, as far as your friend, okay, y'all in your 30s or whatever, you're not a baby no more. If she wants to go chasing some dick halfway around the world to go on a vacation with some dude she just met, that's her business. What is wrong with you? And it's never because they go on a trip, that don't mean that that she gonna be with dude forever. She might just enjoy a nice trip with him. I mean, haven't you? I guess you've never done that. Please, I have good memories of people that I met. I know I told you all about the dude I met when I went to Hawaii with my friends. My friends didn't see me. I spent the whole week with dude that I met on the first day. That's when I was young and trifling. But sometimes you have chances present themselves in life, and you just got to go for it. I mean, you weigh the odds. This was the days before they had like sex trafficking and all that stuff. At least I didn't know nothing about it. Plus, he was in the Navy, so I mean, where is he going? But you don't crave marriage, you don't crave children. Dating is painful. You've only, it fills you with anxiety. You've never been happy in a relationship. You always get cheated on, ghosted, lied to. I mean, I'm wondering. I mean, I understand it felt good to get it off your chest, but I'm wondering if you built up a nice life for yourself. You traveling, you got, your property, whatever you bought, and you got everything situated. Why are you worried about what some man does? I mean, enjoy them if they come across your path, and then get rid of them. That's what I do. I'm not trying to be tied down with nobody. I have fun with them while it's fun, and once it's not fun anymore, they gotta go. I don't want to hear about your problems. I don't. I don't. Eh, eh. I mean, I got enough issues of my own going on, and if you start, thank you, lady. Oh, lady boss, how you tipping people? I'm supposed to be tipping you. Um, I mean, don't. I wouldn't worry about it if I were you. I'm gonna close this out by saying, okay, I'm glad you were able to get that out, and everybody here, they might have some comments in the chat room for you. That's all I have to say. Okay, so I'm gonna be moving on to the next question. Number 9. This is from a young woman, 41 to 50, from Kingston, Jamaica. Oh, I guess she's not that young, 41 to 50. I have been married for 4 years, and just before I got married, my husband and I were on a short break. During that break, my husband, then fiance, slept with one of his friends. I did not find out until 1 month after we were married. And 4 months after we were married, I found out he possibly got her pregnant. To this day, he is yet to do a paternity test. Now, my husband is very supportive and shows his love for me, but last year we found ourselves in a great financial crisis and he started drinking. He has his own house that was under renovation and we moved to my house that I inherited. One day when he was drinking to drown his frustration, he got really drunk and stayed at his house for the night. That's near to his dad's place. Last week when I heard his phone ringing, I saw many missed calls from that baby mama woman and a message about her having another baby for him. I questioned him until he admitted that the day he stayed by his place, he was really drunk, and the woman came and they had sex. He went on his knees asking me to not give up on him. But 2 children in our marriage, I told him it's over, and I want a divorce. But I am not sure if his baby mama thinks there's a possibility that there's another man who's the father of her second child. Last year, I remember seeing a message where she told him she was preggo for her boyfriend and they were going to get married. She told my husband that she wants to be married like him and happy like him. So last month I saw a message where she told him about her boyfriend being the father of the child and that he is not interested in being involved in the child's life and that she has to raise the baby on her own. Today she is saying the baby is my husband's baby. She wants us to go to counseling. He rather wants us to go to counseling before I make a final decision. What do you think I should do? I think counseling is a good idea. Not so much because it's going to change your mind, but it will help you feel good about the choice that you make. To me, that's important because you're already expressing that you have doubts, which doubts also turn into regrets later if those doubts are not, resolved. So seeing that you already on the fence. First you tell them you want a divorce, and then you say, however, okay. So that means that you're flip flopping back and forth. Whichever decision that you make, I want you to feel confident that it was a good one and that you thought it through and you resolved any and all questions and doubts that you had in your mind, so that you can go forward in your life knowing that you gave your relationship your all and that you're solidly behind whatever decision that you make. You have to do that for yourself, not for the marriage, not for him, for you. Okay, that's why the counseling I think is a good idea. Even if you don't go with him, go by yourself because you need to come to some resolutions. You need to arrive at some conclusions. And I mean, but let me just tell you from my perspective, that woman wouldn't have known that he was at that house unless he told her. Okay, so that means he invited her over. So him trying to act like he was a victim because of his drinking over there, that's not quite true. And so she been allowed, around with him and they've been fucking and stuff since before he married you. So what does that mean? To me, that would mean that that's his woman and you some kind of rebounder. So I don't know what's going on with dude. But that wouldn't be the kind of marriage that I would want. See, this kind of emotional upheaval and upsetness and not to mention if he does get a DNA test and the tests turn out to be his, then it's gonna be like, you talking about your financial crisis now, you're gonna be more of a crisis because whatever money you have, she gonna be getting a chunk of it. You know what I mean? So this is a nightmare. So if you have uh you want to keep your money and your property and everything separate from any garnishments that's about to come his way, his ass about to get tapped for child support for 2 kids and all this old stuff, then you need to get a divorce if for no reason other than that. But that's you. Like I said, you need to feel good and solid about the decision that you make. So before you make that final decision, I'm just sharing my thoughts on the matter. I would suggest really that you go and get you some counseling, at least a couple of sessions to help you kind of, just be clear on what's going on with you emotionally and mentally, and to feel good about the decision, whichever one that you make. The good sense stick. I love that. Well, Betty, you might be right. I don't know what's going to happen with dude, but this wouldn't be anything that I would want to be. Hey, NutriNet. Yeah, reader, I wouldn't want to be bothered with that either. That's not my idea of a marriage. I shouldn't have to be worried about where you put your dick and what babies you made with some other broad. I mean, to me, that's like it. The marriage is over. The instant you decided to tip out like that, you were saying to me, I want a divorce. Now, the men will say, well, that's not what I was saying. Yes, it is. Because we both stood up there and made promises and commitments to each other. And you reneged when it was convenient for you. Okay, so that means you can't be trusted. I don't want to be married to somebody I can't trust. So that means this disaster that you call a marriage, this shit's over. Over, Holmes, the end. You know? Yeah. It's just, because women need to feel, because, oh, I should have, maybe I shouldn't have, I should have, they doubt and question themselves a lot. I want people, if you move forward in a decision, whether you stay in a situation that's fucked up or whether you leave the situation that's fucked up, I want you to feel solid and good about it. There are kids involved, but they're the 2 kids that he made with somebody else. She didn't, let me see, did she say anything about them having kids? No, she didn't say anything about their children. She never mentioned that they have children. She's talking about the 2 kids he has with someone else. She never said, what about our children? So that to me means they don't have any because she would have mentioned that. And she would have mentioned her children. So, yeah. All right. This young woman is in the 19, we're on question 10, 10 or 14 today on What the Fuck Tuesday. As you can see, most of these questions are like face palm kind of stuff. You know, I think I'm going to be like Beatty, the Beatty boss now. I'm being triggered. I'm being triggered by these questions. 1-800 divorce at home. Lady boss has way too many numbers. All right. Female, 19 to 25 from San Jose. So we've known each other from the state university here. Okay, so that means she goes to San Jose State. I moved from Iowa to California. He is a native Californian. He has been asking me out for a while, but I didn't pay attention to him. And recently we started to talk more and we go out a couple of times. He said he wanted to kiss me, but I am more like, let's get to know each other first. After that, he stated that it's better to not see each other because he doesn't want something serious right now and doesn't have the patience to build trust and get involved emotionally. That means he just want to hit it and quit it. Also, he respects me as a person. That's why he has chosen to be very honest from the beginning. He said that sex is very important to him and I am a nice girl and he is not. I accepted his decision and I didn't chase him. I am feeling confused though. Did I do something wrong by trying to take things slow? No, you did everything right. You don't they teach girls anything in Iowa? Come on now. You know, the dude straight up tells you I'm just a pussy hound. That's what he's telling you. I'm not trying to be in a relationship. I just wanna hit it. That's what he straight told you. Now, unless that's the kind, you know what they call them, bed buddies. Uh, I don't know. They have all these terms, friends with benefits, all this kind of stuff. They have all these terms with it. But essentially, the relationship is nothing but a sexual one. If that is not the kind of relationship that you want, then by you adhering to your boundaries, which I applaud you for, most young women don't these days, you told him this is not what I want, and so that's not going to be what happens, sir. And so he was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's not what I want. I just want some pussy, and I ain't trying to be in a relationship. I don't care about building trust. I just want to hit it." That's essentially what he told you. So basically, he wants to use you instead of going paying his $25 at the local hooker. He wanted to just use your body for free. That's essentially what he was saying, because that's beneficial to him. He gets to bust a nut, and he gets to see keep his money in his pocket. Now, you didn't go. You weren't down with that game, but you are confused by it, and you think that you did something wrong. What? I need something stronger than this water. Anyway, adhere to your program. When you get meet a guy who does want to build something with you, then that's who you sleep with. You don't sleep with somebody who's just gonna run through your life and run through your body like you just some kind of like track star or something. Ooh, question number 11. This is a young woman, 25 to 36 from Los Angeles. Oh, I'm 27, turning 28 soon, and got married about 5 months ago to my husband who's from London. He's in his early 30s. We met 5 years ago and dated seriously for 2 years before we became engaged. We were living together for 6 months, but he was having visa issues and we ended up having to be long distance for some time. He went back to London while I stayed in the U.S., and we ended up deciding to get married in order for him to come back more easily. Should have left his ad, let his ass stay over there in the land of tea and crumpets. That's what you should have done. I can tell already. It was a rushed wedding, not my dream wedding at all, but we didn't want to waste time since we had to wait for the paperwork to go through. Now that we are married, we are together and back to normal life. He is working again, but a big bonus he thought was coming is not coming through. We live in an expensive city, and one of our main problems is fighting over money. We have a joint account now that we're married, but we don't seem to be on the same page about our finances. I have a credit card that connects to the joint account, and I like using the credit card instead of the debit card because I get points. However, he has been asking me to pull out my card in front of other people, and I feel really embarrassed by this. It happened twice last weekend where we were with my friends and started a bar tab. He told me to pull out my card, and again when the bill came the next day at lunch, he asked me to put my card down again. I know it connects to a joint account, but before we were married, whenever we were out, he would put down his card down, and I don't like that he no longer does that. He also has been getting really agitated whenever I want to spend money. We're trying to plan a honeymoon, and I want it to be a beautiful trip, not too extravagant. And we are doing pretty much normal things. But I found one activity I wanted to do that would be really pricey, but sounds amazing. He said no. He has also been saying no to a lot of other things I want, but unfortunately, when he wants something, I'm not allowed to say no. For example, he wanted me to buy more stuff for the house I put on the joint card that we didn't really need, and I did because I wanted to, because he wanted to. I would like him to act more like a man and not have to beg every time I want to be treated to something. But he also says that I live in a fantasy world. I'm just living the same life I have worked hard to live. Our fights have been getting really bad, and earlier we got in another one over money, and he threw a $50 bill at me, which was so disrespectful. I'm not okay with that behavior. I worry that we have different expectations for our lives. I'm working towards having a beautiful home in a nice area, and he seems to not be worried about how we will afford this. In addition, I have been very annoyed by his character lately. His English has a very strong accent and is not often grammatically correct. I used to find this endearing, but now I'm ashamed. He also is very judgmental of others and can be a little aggressive, and I would like him to be more gentle. I am confused if we are right for each other, but I truly love him. I am just nervous about not being able to have the lifestyle I want, and I'm frustrated by his behavior. I'm still young, so I don't know if I should get out now, but if I do, he will have to go back to his country, which I would feel badly for. Who gives a fuck? Put his fucking English, broken English ass on the nearest thing smoking and get the fuck up out of here. Let him find somebody else to use for his citizenship or green card or whatever the fuck he's in here under. Girl, you better get rid of this fool. First thing, this is what you need to do first. You go and you file something called, it's the first step of filing for divorce. And here in California, I'm glad you're in California because I know the divorce laws here. In other states, I don't know. So you file for the divorce, right? And then while you're doing it, there's this document that you have to file called a bifurcation. The bifurcation makes the legal separation as of that day. So that means your money now is your money separate from his. Your bills now are your bills separate from his. Everything is separate. Okay? So then once you get that, then you go to your bank and you take your money that you been putting into the joint account, whatever it is you take half of it out and you put it in a separate account with just your name in it. You cut up them cards that's connected to that bank account that you got with him because he can keep that. That's going to be his. And you get a card connected with your account that does not have his name on it. You keep all the documentation connected with that shit at your desk at work in some locked file cabinet or something. Don't you bring that shit home. Okay? Now, then what you have to do is tell him, this is not working. I'm really seriously wondering, you dated for 2 years before you got engaged and you lived together. So did these discussions not happen? What were you guys talking about? Money is the number one thing that people divorce over. And this dude, I mean, he just trying to set you up to just use you, make you look like a sugar mama in front of his friends. You to put your card down so he could act like he's like a kept man or some shit. You should have told him right in front of all the people, no, you want to pay for it, put your card down. I'm not putting shit down. I'm not doing that. Even though it's a joint account, it's the image that he's trying to present. Like he's some pimp daddy that you taking care of him and he's, here for his citizenship and you married him because you just want to be married. I mean, I can see the game he's trying to run and the front he's trying to put up. He's full of shit. No, girl, no. You go file them documents and separate your shit from this fool because this is too much. This is too much. Put it on a joint card that you didn't really need. Yeah, he's buying a whole bunch of stuff so that when he leaves, see that he can take a lot of stuff out the house and he will have brand new shit that you just bought. Don't you understand what's going on here? You don't get this? You didn't need any new stuff if you saving for the house and you saving for a honeymoon. What are you thinking? You're supposed to tell him no. Any money you want to spend on some stuff that we don't need, it's going into the account for the honeymoon. I'm not buying no dishes and all this fancy shit you want. You think, see, that's what I was thinking too. He got that, that little, what they call it, that Cockney thing going on. That kind of English that's all kind of, it's like, ghetto English. Not like the, snooty proper English. And he gonna throw money at you like you a hoe? You supposed to fly through the air like a Super Saiyan and beat his ass. That's just ridiculous. He's judgmental, aggressive. See, that's the part that lets me wonder, how is he aggressive? You should have went into more details on that. That was important. That you just like, oh, just casually threw that in. How is he aggressive? He's aggressive to you, aggressive to other people. Is it with his words? Is he touching you? Is he hitting you? Is he twisting your arm? Is he pushing you down, holding you against your will? What does this mean? My imagination's going wild. But in all, I see nothing here good for you. This is a nightmare. When his ass was in London, you should have left him there. Say, oh, well, sorry, can't help you. And that would have been that. That's why you get a Google phone number. See, then he could have had the Google number, and then you just change the number, and then he can't call you no more. Anybody who don't have a Google number, you need to get you one. On my recommendation, all single women should have a Google phone number or some other, kind of service like that where the phone is in the cloud. That's what you can set it up to ring it to your cell phone, but you can make calls through your cell phone. They can call you through the cell, but they will never have your actual number. Okay, and that is like what you need. Girl, I mean, well, I don't know, girl, whoever, Natura, it doesn't mean anything what you talk about. It's what the person does that counts. Because people say whatever they gonna say to get you in the cross, but see, once you start looking at how they act, then you can see that their words and actions ain't matching up. But I'm just real funny about my money. And I just not, you're not playing no pimp games with me, because the first moment he would try that shit, he would have got an earful, and so would all his friends, to let them know, I know what he's trying to do, and it ain't going down like that. And I would have got him left and walked the fuck out. So you want some card to be put down and run a tab, and motherfucker, you want a tab, you better put your card down, because my card is leaving with me. And if I'm gonna have a tab somewhere, it's gonna be for me and my girls, not for you and your fucking friends. Please. You got your Google number? That's right. Oh, I see your money's back. I'm so sorry for accidentally, um, whatever I did. It said that you was blocked or something. I was like, oops, I didn't mean to do that. I was going for the person above you. All right, we on question 12. 12 or 14. We're rolling through these. Oh my God, these people are just off the chain. Your age group. Okay, she's 19 to 26. She's from, I do not know how to pronounce this. Dorset or something. Eastern Cape of South Africa. See, I told you this is a global thing. I've been married for 9 months to the love of my life. I'm currently 6 weeks pregnant, and I've made a startling discovery. I don't want to birth a female child ever. No one knows about my pregnancy. I live in a society where it is commonplace to have women pitting mothers against their daughters when it comes to their looks. My mother and I never had a good relationship because of this. She always thought of me as her competition and not her daughter. If I were to birth a baby girl, women in my community and family would use her beauty, youth, and everything else that is good about her as a reason to denigrate everything that I am. I know that I never truly loved my baby. The environment is simply not conducive for such. What should I do? Get on the nearest thing smoking and move the fuck up out of that backwoods country bumpkin ass place that you live in. That's what you should do. Just because that's where you are now, that don't mean that's where you got to stay. You need to go someplace and be around some people that got some good goddamn sense. Them bitches is crazy. And let me tell you something. What's so disturbing to me about this is you have enough sense to question it and to recognize it for what it is, and yet you don't have no spine. You just gonna follow along with some bullshit and torture your daughter and ruin your mother-daughter relationship because of some other bitches? Are you for real right now? Did you forget who I am and you write me with this simple shit? Do you know how irritated I am at you? No, I'm not even irritated. I'm pissed the fuck off. This is a bunch. One thing I cannot stand is no weak ass woman. I can't stand it. Instead of you going along with the bullshit that they would be talking, you need to roll through there and cuss all them bitches out. All of them. Everybody in your family, everybody in your community, and tell them they're some backwards ass country stupid thinking bitches. That's what you need to tell them. There's no reason in this world why a little girl cannot be adored and cherished by her mother. And you're going to see the little baby as a competition based on what some stupid, ugly ass bitches say? No. So if you don't have that kind of strength, see, they wouldn't want to fuck with me because I would be cussing them all out. You don't have that kind of strength, then you and your husband need to pack your stuff and move to somewhere where people have better sense. because there's no way in this world that your daughter should ever have to face being talked to and treated like that, and neither should you. This is totally unacceptable. I don't know where you all started with this culture and why the women are so stupid that they carry this on without stopping it. The power to stop it is in each one of your hands, and yet you don't do it. You just sit there and just keep doing, just keep the bullshit going generation after generation. Dumb hoes. Okay, and I don't give a fuck who the people. You shouldn't be talking about people from the continent like that. This is some bullshit. Okay, this is some straight bullshit. And you are in a position, you and the women in your age group, to stop it right now and not perpetuate this bullshit. But you know, that's all I got to say. So if you fall for this and you go for this and you treat your daughter like that, shame on you. That's all I got to say. Shame on you. Question number 13. I just can't stand people who are stupid. I just can't do it. You don't follow along with some nonsense just because everybody's just jump off a bridge you're going to jump to. How dare you treat your daughter like that? I would be beating everybody's ass. That just makes no damn sense. Question number 13. This is a young woman, 26 to 35, from Summerville, South Carolina. Thanks, Trace. I mean, my wine pool is growing. Yeah, the family, the whole community, the whole neighborhood is fired. That just pissed me the fuck off. I'm just like, ugh. Okay, this lady writes, I've suffered a great regret over an abortion I had 10 years ago. I can't believe how quickly time passed. It seems like yesterday. Puts things in perspective, and now I'm feeling a lot of anxiety, seeing that I wanted to have kids yesterday. My boyfriend at the time of the abortion and I were very serious. I became pregnant after a year or so of dating, and he didn't want the baby and wanted me to get an abortion. I would have gladly continued the pregnancy if I knew he was going to stick around, but I knew I'd be a single mom. I was only 25, and I guess I thought I'd have more chances. I had no idea how traumatizing that was until at least 5 years or more passed when I started to see all my other friends getting married and having kids when I wanted the same thing. Now I'm 35 and still no children, still not married either. I'm once again in a serious relationship, still new, only 4.5 months in so far, but I see potential. You never know though. I've dated lots of men since the ex 10 years ago and maybe 2 serious relationships since that guy. And I feel further away from marriage and motherhood than I did 10 years ago. I was pregnant then and my ex and I were talking about marriage, and I don't have either one of those things now. I've come to a sad and regretful acceptance that I may never have children. Some people are quick to point out the health risks that come with having children at my age or older. My doctor says I'm very healthy, though, and I should have no problem conceiving. But in the back of my mind, I feel I may have lost that chance, and I'm struggling to accept that. My current boyfriend wants children, and soon, in general, but not with me necessarily yet. But we're nowhere close to being engaged or married or even trying to have children. I know he wants to be married before having kids, and I want that too. Women's window of fertility closes, and sadly, if I ever do have kids, I'll be an older mom. My own mom was my age when she had me, a couple of months younger, actually. Now I'm 35 and she's about to be 70. I think with sadness that my parents may never live to have grandchildren. My current boyfriend is 48. God damn! So we're both much older, and sometimes I wonder if some things just aren't meant to be. I see women my age or younger with babies. I'm looking at one right now as I type this, and I feel the terrible pain and grief. I've always wanted to be a mother, and I think I'd be a good one. Oh, and so then she mumbles on, and then she says, I never told him about my abortion, but he knows I have stress that I might not be able to conceive. I realize it could still happen, but it's not being planned, and my relationship is so new, there's no guarantee it will result in anything long term. We're still in the getting to know you phase. And not, I feel, and not preventing pregnancy, but not deliberately, intentionally trying to conceive, of course. We're just dating. I also don't want to bank my last chance of pregnancy on this one man who I just recently became official with. What should I do? God damn it! Your ass never heard of, like, adoption? Artificial insemination? Are these foreign concepts for you? You have some money. I mean, you've been working all this time, right? You ain't had no kids. You haven't had any of those expenses. You should have enough money to pay for some series of IVF. Okay, you really want a baby? Go in there and design the baby that you want. Scroll, flip through the little books. Pick the one with the highest IQ, the best looks, the best health history, and get pregnant by that man. Okay, so you what you would be as a single mama at 25 versus a settled career woman at 35, two completely different things. You're a mature middle-aged woman now. Okay, you can handle having a baby. And if you don't want to go to because it probably costs about $10,000 to $12,000 at this point, you or maybe more depending on where you live. You never heard about adoption? You can adopt a young child, a toddler, infant. Trying to get an infant is harder, but you can adopt a toddler, a 1 or 2 year old kid. I mean, that's the best age to me anyway. That pooping in the diaper and screaming shit and shots and all of that. Nah, we can pass on that. I mean, some people really get off on that. I just was not. I couldn't wait for her to stop talk. Start talking and be out of diapers. That's when my fun as a mother began. That before that, it was like this was just drudgery to me, just work and slavery, and I was exhausted and I was stressed the fuck out. And I didn't like that part. I know a lot of people are like, oh, but they're so little, they're so cute, they're so this and that. I'm like, yeah, I mean, I like looking at them. Like when I go to people, they have the little babies, the little 6 month old and stuff. They got the little fat, real wrinkles on their thighs. They got the little cute little fat hands. I'll play with the baby and talk to the baby and patty cake with the baby. And then I get that motherfucker back. So, it's like it just, people like different things. So that was never really that exciting for me. And I definitely could have gone without the whole pregnancy and labor thing, too. I don't know why I didn't think about adopting, but I really never wanted a kid, so that was one of them things. 72 hours old. Well, good luck with that. You could probably get one in the hood, but you never know what you're getting. See, the genetic quality in the stupid motherfucker gene is just too prevalent. I would be scared of that. But girl, that's what I have to say to you. You doing too much. And as far as this reflecting on the abortion for why you haven't had a kid, you made a decision and it was a sound one. You were 25, you didn't have shit. What was you going to give a baby? How was you going to take care of it? I mean, you made the best decision for you and the potential child, not to put it in a bunch of bullshit. So I mean, why are you feeling bad about that? You ought to be applauding yourself, so you're not like one of these stray baby mamas around here talking about giving your kids hot dogs and shit because you don't have no money. So I mean, it costs a lot of money to raise a child and to do it well. At 35, you can provide for a child all kind of opportunities and experience and calm and maturity that you didn't have 10 years ago. So I don't understand why this is a problem. Why you sitting there lamenting the past like that, working yourself into a state over some bullshit you can't even change. If you want a fucking baby, you can have one. Go take your narrow ass up to the IVF clinic and make the magic happen. And then don't wait until you turn 40 or 45 and then say, oh, I should have listened to Deb. And I could have done, because whether you would do it or not do it is too old. And his sperm is all fucked up anyway. 48 years old, motherfucker. That's a damn grandpa age. Talking about he want to have a baby. Don't have no baby when your baby going to be fucked up. Them old sperm, I got a video on here about people that got babies by old ass men. The babies look all wrinkled up and dried up and crunchy and shit. You don't want no baby by no old motherfucker. The baby just gonna look all just like, ugh. She wants a family. You might be right. I don't think she even know what she wants. She just wants to, go back to the past and thinking about what she did and how she could undo it and stuff. Shit, everybody I know who got an abortion was like dancing the boogaloo, happy as fuck because they were relieved from all the drama. And just like you said, you was relieved for 5 years until you start comparing yourself to your friends. Then all of a sudden it became a problem. Bitch, please, fuck out of here with that. Question number 14, female, 26 to 35 from Texas. In January of 2019, my husband's bank account was garnished by child support. Oh, dude was doing the most. Girl, you seen them babies by them old men? And then they be having all kind of mental problems and shit. That's a schizophrenia. And, all kind of things. They turn out to be mass murderers and whatnot. Firebugs, all kind of crazy stuff from that old sperm. Nobody want no baby with them old ass sperm. Mm-mm. If I just wanted a kid, trust me, I would go to a sperm bank and I would get the most delicious sounding man that they had on file, and that would be my baby daddy. And I would go to some other state to do it too. I wouldn't be getting it from local talent because people going locally. See, then everybody's kids gonna be everybody who's doing IVF is gonna pick the same person, and then there's all the kids he gonna be having like 10 kids related to each other and stuff. Nah. So if I did want to do something like that, I would go to like another state, get the IVF, stay there till it planted, come on back home. All right, so this young woman is 26 to 35, age group from Texas. So, okay, so her husband's bank account was garnished for child support. He has two children from his first marriage that are 14 and 12, and two children, 3 and 1, with me. Okay, so he got teenagers or adolescents and some like what they call them, toddlers. He called the bank and the child support office and tried to get his money back. I was speechless. Why on earth did he let it get so bad to where his bank account was garnished? And why did he think he was going to get his money back? To this day, he swears he was up on his payments and that he was garnished by mistake. I don't believe him. Do you think he was garnished by mistake? Hell no. They don't make mistakes like that. Deb, I can't even look at him the same anymore. He's not the man I thought he was. I can't talk to my friends about this. I'm too ashamed. This also going on the third year that he hasn't filed his taxes. He claims it's too much of a hassle and he just doesn't want to deal with it. I have been staying on him, but it's now April 2nd. He still hasn't filed. He says he's going to file by April 15th. I told him the IRS is nothing to be played with, and it just starts an argument. I work part-time, and my husband is the primary breadwinner. He pays all the bills. My income goes towards groceries and activities for the kids. I thought about leaving him, but deep down I know he will not financially support our children. How can I get him to be more responsible and take care of his business? I feel like there are going to be serious consequences if he doesn't get his act together. By the way, he also closed his bank account and now he just uses cash. I feel like that's another sign that he's still not paying child support. My entire family is Christian and don't like the idea of divorce. My father told me not to leave him and that he is a good man. I guess since he's not cheating on me and beating me, he qualifies. Okay, your daddy's stupid. Don't listen to him. Number one, let me scroll back up here and look at this. Okay, his bank account was garnished. Why is it his bank account? Where's your bank account? Is this a joint bank account? So you leaving out details. If you are not putting money in that account, then you should have your own bank account that does not have his name on it. Okay, because you can have a separate account as a married woman in the state of Texas. Okay, you can do that. Now, they also, trust me, believe it or not, since Texas doesn't have a state income tax, all you have to file is, see, I used to live there, so I know about Texas too. They don't have state income tax, so you don't have no, like here in California, we get ripped up the yin yang for state tax, so you don't have a problem. So all you have to do, they have this thing where you can file separately as a married woman. Did you know that? You don't need to file your taxes with him. And I suggest that you do that because when the IRS rolls through, you want them to be on his ass. You don't want them to be on yours, okay? So you can file married, filed separately. They have that little box. You can look on the form and see it. I'm not lying. And then you can claim one of the kids and let him claim the other one. And let me tell you why he's not filing. Because once he files, if he has any income tax return coming back, which he probably would since he's supporting 4 children, the federal government would go politely and snatch it, and he won't see one penny of that money. That's why he don't want to file, because he owes back child support, and he knows the second that he does and they release that refund, it's going straight to the baby mama. It's not coming to him, and he don't want that. So he would rather tie the money up and nobody get the money than to file his taxes and let that start to go against his arrearages, because he's an idiot. Okay, your husband's stupid. All right, now the other thing is, what I don't understand is, how is it that you're married to this man and you don't know what money is coming into the house and what money is going out? Why do you have your head in a hole? What are you doing? You're married. Okay, you have 2 children with this man, and you need to know what is happening with the money that y'all live on. Okay, so you should be like knee deep up in those bank statements. Why don't you know what's going on in your household with the money that's coming in and out, going out your house? What are you doing? You just letting him handle everything, like you don't want to know, that you don't want to be like living like a child where he handles everything and you just dumb? No, that's not how you handle your business. You somebody's mama. You need to wise up. Your role is to protect your children at all costs. And that means you need to be knee deep in that nigga's ass. That's what that means. You do not let the man handle all the money, and you don't know where the money's going, how much the money's coming in, how much money's going out, when it's coming out, when bills due. You don't know nothing. This is embarrassing. You talking about, you ashamed because you can't talk to your friends about it. You need to be ashamed about how you handling yourself as a grown ass woman, just turning everything over to this man who's obviously irresponsible and silly. Okay, you're gonna get yourself in trouble. But like I said, you can't save yourself by doing the married filing separately, so that any drama that comes along, you can just look at them like I'm looking at you right now with this deadpan expression, like, I guess you should have filed your taxes, honey, and then going about your business. Okay, so you still got time. It's only April 2nd. You can handle it. Oh, so you must have just sent this in today, huh? I just noticed that. You said April 2nd. Your money goes toward groceries and activities for the kids. Well, you may have to curtail some of them activities, but you can still afford to buy the food. And then you need to start saving some money. Stop sending it all on your kids. They 1 and 3. What the fuck kind of activities do they need? Take their little asses to the park. That shit is free. You get them little things you dig in the sand with for 99 cents at the dollar store. I mean, they little. They don't need a whole bunch of stuff. Just get them a ball or some shit. 99 cents. Little kids are easy. You just play with them. That's what you do. You play with them, not just let them go play by themselves. How can you get him to be more responsible and take care of his business? You do not. He's a grown man. He's not your child. You can't raise him. He is what he is. But what you do is you put things in place where it's not going to affect you and not affect your children if he is not as responsible as he should be. And that is how I said, he closed his bank account. Well, okay, well, what, you can't open one just with your name? You can't do that? Obviously, he's not paying. He don't want the bank account because they would garnish it again. Your family as Christians don't like the idea of divorce. Well, let me tell you what's going to happen. They are not living at your house. They are married to this fool you are. So any decision that you need make about your marriage, since you're the only one that stood up there and took them vows, you need to be the one to make them. People will keep you in a trick bag of misery based on their belief system. Their belief system don't have shit to do with you suffering. Remember that. You need to make some wise choices here. The number one priority for you is to take care of them 2 kids that you got. Number one. Okay, they're babies. You need to be running interference like a she bear against any and all bullshit that may affect your children. That's your job. Okay, that's your job to protect them until they're old enough to protect themselves. And if that means you got to go against your whole family and your raggedy ass, stupid ass husband, then that's what that means. That's what you need to do. You worry about that 1 and that 3-year old, and don't you worry about nothing else. Every decision that you made needs to be made with their best interest at heart. And if you do that, nothing you do will be wrong, and nobody can say shit to you. You got my full support on that. All right? If that means a divorce, oh well. He should have done what he's supposed to do. Half-stepping motherfucker. Oof, I'm telling you. Ooh, I am so triggered tonight. I'm triggered. I'm triggered. I'm triggered by these people. So, anyway, that's it for What the Fuck Tuesday tonight, April 2nd, 2019. We had 14 kind of rough questions from people all over the world. And that's how we roll around here. This is a global platform. People come, they write from everywhere, and I try to do my best to help them figure out what to do about their issues. We're going to be back on Thursday with another live stream. That's Tough Topic Thursday. I'm going to do something a little bit different, though. And I will repeat for those of you who were not here at the top of the show. I'm going to be doing a broadcast that focuses on responding to some of the retarded things that men have posted. Okay? They've posted some craziness, either on Facebook or here on my YouTube channel wall. If you have run across something that you think will qualify and you'd like to get my take on it, then be sure to screenshot it, or I don't know, however you copied it down, and then send it to me to survivingdating@gmail.com. Attach it to the email, survivingdating@gmail.com, and I will make a slide of it and then put it up for the commentary on Thursday. That's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be roasting some folks. It's going to be a roast-a-thon on Thursday. So, as you travel around the next day or two around your social media, you see something you think, oh, Deb would do really good to rip this apart, send it to me. Survivingdating@gmail.com. All right? Oh, yes, I don't know, I'm just in an evil mood. I hurt my back last week, right? So I wasn't feeling good. And all these medications, I couldn't sleep. I'm irritated. It's just irritable. I hate to be hurting, and so it just makes me irritable. I can't sleep. So I'm going to be like purging that negative energy and ripping some men's a new ass. And I think, some women probably need to be in on it too because they be talking some crazy stuff as well. All right, but that's the show for tonight. And then on the weekend, we'll be back with what am I gonna do? I don't know. Maybe I'll do a live this weekend. I've been putting up the blog talk shows, which is good, but maybe I'll do a live this weekend. So, if you're not a subscriber, become one so you get a notice. Hit that bell symbol so you get the notice when I decide to schedule the show so you know what's coming up and which day, Saturday or Sunday, that I'll be doing it. But I really appreciate everybody for rolling through tonight and sitting in with me while we did What the Fuck Tuesday. And I will see you all on Thursday. Be here 6 o'clock Pacific time sharp. See you then.